Hey, Offline Sharks, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to the Friday Marketing Jam Session. Tom Gaddis here, my business partner and best friend, Nick Ponte. It's pretty funny. You are ahead of my mom on speed dial. So that I say that all the time, but it's actually true. It goes my wife, Nick, and then my mom.
Does your mom know that?
I've never told her that. So, I don't think she watches the live show, so I'm pretty safe.
Why not? You should get her to join in.
She may. They probably don't even listen to my podcast. Jeez. I gotta give them flack for that. How's everybody doing today? Stick in the comments. You should be able to see our screen, hear us. It's our second week with the new setup, so it's I wish I could say we were super organized about it, but it's pretty much a cluster right before we get started.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not. We're not doing very good. We're not doing very good with it. Michael Jennings says, I was always told if you're on time, you're late. Get there with at least 5 minutes to spare. Hey, what about if you're there 30 minutes to spare and you're still a little late, Michael Jennings? What about that?
Yeah, we got here at the office. Well, Nick was here a little before 8:30. I showed up at 8:30, and we were just trying to get everything organized. It's like all of a sudden we look down. It's like, oh crap, it's 9 o'clock.
Yeah. No, if you only knew. Hey, Shan.
Yeah.
What's up? It's Shan.
It's fun. Hey, aloha, Shan. Aloha, Zach. Zachary, man, good to see you. Gabriel. Hey, Dorn. Man, awesome to see everybody. Yeah, it's also getting used to like looking to where the camera is. And then we've got this TV where we can see comments and stuff. And we've got our little iPad thingies to see.
We still haven't flushed everything out yet.
Yeah, we're still working out the kinks. But the important thing is we're here, right? We're here. We're going to hang out with you guys. We got some exciting stuff to talk about. We do have the show notes, and we have
We do.
a thing for the show, so that's good. So I know we're going to have a good time today. And yeah, you're right. That it feels really dark in here, but it looks good on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So why don't we start off with some shark shout outs?
Let's do it.
All right, our first shout out today. Nick's going to pull up the screen here. There we go. So our first shout out is going to Daniel. Man, I have I've seen Daniel posting a ton of stuff this week in the group. Like he's on it. He's doing a lot in there. So Daniel, thank you for that. Thanks for sharing what you've got going on. This post in particular, it says, "Bam! This shark done hooked another one." So y'all can't see it, but I just did some weird dance, and I think my neighbor thinks I'm a weirdo now.
Probably does.
Probably does.
Probably does.
I often wonder what the neighbors must think of me, because I hardly ever leave the house. I'm in the backyard talking, like we do these weekly huddles and stuff with our team, and so I'm always in the backyard talking, and I have a loud voice, so I know people. I'll tell you how loud my voice is. One day, I got a knock on the door, and I opened it, and it was this lady from like 3 houses down, and she was like, "This is gonna sound kind of weird, but do you do something with internet marketing?" I was like, "What?" She's like, "Well, because my mom has a medical practice and we're trying to get some things up on the internet. We've really been struggling, and I heard someone in the neighborhood talking about internet marketing, and I thought, I need to talk to that person. I'm just trying to see if that's you." And then it turned out my wife knew the lady, so it was really funny. Small island.
It is very small. Tom's voice definitely carries too. I could probably hear him from my house if I really tried.
Yeah, you probably could.
I probably could.
Especially on football day.
Especially on football day. Get him. Get him. That's what you hear Tom say on football day. So Daniel, like Tom said, congratulations. Further down in the comments, he said it was a motel, and he got them with a cold email. They asked for more info, sent a long email. End of my email was, "I would love to get with you over the phone to discuss more and get the ball rolling so we can make some other motels eat their hearts out and make you look like a rock star." So what do you say here? Here's my number. So
that's great copy. That's a great copy.
It is good copy, and it's funny because it's actually what we were talking about in the office yesterday. We were and I don't know if some of you guys saw my video. Actually, you guys stick a 1 in the comments if you guys saw my video that I posted this morning in the Facebook group, because I was talking a little bit about prospecting, doing cold email prospecting, and I was working with Ryan, who's in my office, and we were doing a little exercise where we were switching up the prospecting that we were doing, because I think oftentimes people want to send out as many emails as possible to try to reach as many people as possible. And, it's easy to say, like, look, I sent out 70 emails and no one responded. I sent out 300 emails and no one responded. Like, you feel defeated when that happens, right? You think you're accomplishing so much and you're doing so much, but, as an exercise yesterday, we started sending out more targeted emails, right? We sent out more targeted emails. And in fact, from my very first email that I sat down with Ryan and crafted, we got a response within 15 minutes.
That's awesome.
15 minutes. We got on the phone.
That's
like
awesome,
within
yeah.
15 minutes, in contrast to sending 50 to 70 emails per day and getting, maybe a response here and there, a much more targeted email, just like how Daniel did, where, and this is a solid tip for everybody that's doing email prospecting. Send an email like you would be sending one to your friend, right? When your email looks like the general run-of-the-mill, hey, do you want guest posting, or hey, like just robotic, it's tone deaf. The person does not receive it well, right? They don't want to respond. They don't answer. It goes immediately to the junk, immediately. But if you can send in an email where it looks like one of their friends was sending them something, maybe the subject line is all lowercase. That's one test that we've been doing that works out really well. If you just have all lowercase text in your headline or your subject line, it stands out. If you can talk directly to the person in your email body a few times, not just with like a name, then they know it's definitely for them. So anyway, excellent job, Daniel.
Yeah, there's a couple things I want to say about that, Nick, because we've been talking about this for years since we started doing this in Offline Sharks, about how you don't need to be reaching out to thousands and thousands of contacts. You don't need really the key to success is highly targeted pre-qualifying, right? Like identifying the business that you want, and then putting in motion the actions to get them as a client, and then not stopping until they either tell you no or you get them as a client, right? Not just like a blast email that goes out and then you move on to all the next people. And one of the one of the things that I think would really help you guys, Nick, and what you're doing, and this is a tip for everybody out there, pay attention to your email inbox, especially pay attention to emails that people send, like your friends, that your friends send you. Pay attention to what they put in the subject line. Pay attention to little things like, Nick hit on one right there. Like when your friends shoot you an email, they don't put like, hey, check out this great tip inside. Like it's like all lowercase. It may even be all uppercase. It may just be like, dude, you seen this? Or like pay attention to what they put there and how that stands out amongst all the other emails you get, and then figure out a way to apply that to the emails you're sending to the businesses. Now, it's important. You can't be, you don't want to be deceptive about, you're not trying to trick somebody to open the email, right? So you don't want to say one thing in the subject line and then something totally different in the email. They need to, they need to mesh. Pardon me, I have to clear my throat, but you want to pay attention to that stuff and try to make it so, it doesn't immediately scream promotional email when they see it. But yeah, that's a really great tip about the all lowercase.
So our next shout out goes to Gerald Johnson, and Gerald said that he just finished up a complete site redesign for his longest time client, furniture, Tartan office furniture, cheap for $800. But on the positive, I just met with them yesterday, gave them 30 days notice that their monthly website and hosting fee would be going from $50 to $147 on September 1st. So wow, $147 a month for hosting and maintenance. I mean, that's a pretty solid fee. I mean,
yeah.
I remember back in the day when one of the first monthly residual retainers I got was doing hosting, and it was pretty sketchy, right? It was pretty like it was like a lot of stress. It was a lot of stress because the hosting, when it would go up, when it would go down, whatever, people would be on me to get it back up. But I was doing what you would probably call boutique hosting for somebody. I didn't know what the hell I was doing, like at all. I had no idea. I had like a DigitalOcean Linux server, and like I was charging anywhere from $200 to $300 per site.
I forgot about that Linux server.
To manage, and like it would go up and it would go down, and like, man, I was so stressed out all the time, and I was always like, do you remember it would go down and you'd call me and I'd be like, what are you doing? I'd be like, I'm like learning Linux, right? I'm learning Linux. I have no business learning Linux, none whatsoever. And anyway, I probably got paid for about 6 months until I just like threw in the towel and was like, look, we should just move you over to GoDaddy. We should just move you over to GoDaddy, because these guys didn't need that, right? I mean, they had like a business, they had like a few business websites. Like they didn't need a DigitalOcean server. So, I was constantly hitting up my brother for information on how to like bring the server back up and down and restart, and then eventually just got hacked. Anyway, long story short. So, you can get a lot of money. You can get paid a lot of money for hosting. You really can.
You can. I mean, but it does come with some. I mean, it's not all peaches and cream with hosting, right? Like, there's a couple things about hosting that I think you should take into consideration when you're doing those things, especially if you're brand new. One is what Nick said. When the site goes down, they're going to call you. The other one is their email. A lot of people like to run their email through their hosting, and if you connect the email directly to the hosting, then the hosting goes down, the email goes down, and that can be a real stress moment for your client and for you. So, one of the things we like to do is recommend that they set up like a G Suite or something like that, so that the email runs independent of the hosting account. That way, if something happens to the hosting, like the email is still functioning and working. It's interesting that we're talking about this, because I've just been, over the past few days, I've been reshooting a bunch of videos and talking about this stuff, because we're doing a rebrand of Website Profit Monster. Just so you guys know, we're changing the name to Website Client System. And so I've been going back through that course and reshooting some of the videos, and I was really surprised, like that Website Profit Monster, or Website Client System now, I got to start coming with the right name. That theme that you get in there is so easy to use, and so easy to use to set up websites. And the strategies we lay out in that course are like exactly what we've been talking about. They're all like keep it simple stuff, right? Even down to the way that you communicate with your potential clients, right? Like, I think one of the big blocks that a lot of people create for themselves, especially when they're new, is we talk a lot about having confidence and showing that you're professional and all that stuff. And I think people tend to think of that and think that means they need to be this faceless, nameless corporation, right? They need to portray this image of a really together operation, and that they're a big firm. And our experience has been that's not the case. Like, in fact, you have more leverage and can usually get better results if you don't do that, if you do the opposite of that, if you reach out to people as just a person in their area that knows how to do this stuff. Like, a lot of people really want to work with somebody in their local area because it just makes them feel safe and secure. And if you're a person who comes in and has the skill set to help them, and you can be on time, you have good communication, you can deliver good work, I think you have a way better chance of building a substantial and sustainable business than if you try to go in portraying yourself as a big agency. Now, as you grow, right? Like, as you grow and you actually become a bigger operation, then you can portray yourself that way, and it comes across as authentic because it's the truth, right? It's the truth. I think the hole that people dig for themselves is they're trying to portray themselves as this big operation when it's not actually true. And that's why you get those feelings of doubt, those feelings of no confidence. Like, that feeling of like, oh, what if they find out I don't have any clients? What if they, all that stuff that creeps in. So just forget all that stuff. Just, start reaching out to people just like Daniel did in his email, like bring some authenticity and fun into what you're doing, right? Like this should be fun. I know I go through phases where business gets really stressful and I think, man, what am I doing? Like if I'm going to be doing this, like I need to be happy, right? Like that's really what I'm after, right? I'm really after being happy. So anyway, I got a little tangent there. That's it. Cut me off.
Zach said that he got his high school principal message him last night asking how much to charge for websites. This morning I asked another person how much I charge for apps. Congratulations, Zach. That is, man. Zach has really been on like a tear since he's joined our group. I mean,
dude, he's always got stuff going on. Always closing deals, always reaching out to people, always moving forward. Like, taking setbacks in stride.
He's a raider. You're a raider, dude. You're just raiding.
Awesome, Zach.
See, actually, let's get some. Let's get a little response. Let's get some engagement going with everybody in the chat. Maybe we can throw out a couple of questions and give away some Cash App money because we've been forgetting to give away Cash App money lately. Maybe you guys can.
Money.
Yeah, Cash App money. So let's see. Can any of you relate to what Tom was just talking about? Having a difficult time when you're just getting started, talking to your first customer, your first prospect, having that that lack of confidence. Can anybody relate to that? Give me some twos in the chat box if you guys can relate to that. Ian says that I'm thinking of niching down and creating my local network to focus on companies and specialize. Ian, I think that's a great idea. Niche down, go for it.
I think that's a great idea. We talk about that a lot on the Agency Growth Machine webinar that we do. I always mention like somebody should set up an influencer site around eco-friendly businesses. I wanted to comment on, was it Suzanne or Suzette's comment up there? She talked about with the hosting, how she prefers to set up with the hosting to get affiliate commissions, and that's a really great strategy. Like if you can get an affiliate link from your hosting company and then you just send that to your clients and say, hey, look, you should pick one of the hosting packages here. Here's the one I recommend. And send them a link. Most clients will sign up through your affiliate link. So that's a really great strategy.
Yeah, that I did use GoDaddy for that for a while. And then the problem with that was like their affiliate program, it was like it recycled every like 60 to 90 days. And I think it was on ClickBank. And so it just became a pain in the butt to like keep signing up because I would get denied and then they would give it to you and then deny you. So it was a pain in the ass. Anyway, let's give away some Cash App money real quick.
Cash App money.
So I have a question. For the first person that gets this correct.
To Tom and Jerry.
Saw that. First person that gets this correct, okay? I need you to help me name this person.
Oh.
What is the name of this person? This is our mascot.
This is our official mascot. What's up, buddy? He's like just chilling. Not really sure what's going on.
Nope, not Kona. We'll put you right there.
Oh.
Share my seat. He is a person. Patty, that's a person.
Mr. Pugglesworth.
Nope.
No, he has a name.
He has a name. Zach.
Oh, Zach.
Zach.
Zachary Smoose. Got it.
Perfect.
Kevin.
This is Kevin. And Kevin's mom is at the hospital today working, so he's hanging out with us today. So Zach, yeah, put your cash tag in the comments, and then we'll send you some cash.
Yeah, it's so funny. My daughters, when I try to remind them about Nick's fiance, I always say, Kevin's mom. And they're like, oh yeah, Kevin's mom. I don't even know if they know her name.
WebinarCon is going on right now. Well, the online version.
Yeah.
Did anybody go to that by any chance? WebinarCon. Okay, so we have a couple more things to go over real quick. Let's see, we have
some more shout outs.
Yeah, we have another shout out here. Also, the doors are being painted to the office right now, so you hear some noise. It's all good. So this shout out goes to Dino. He says his AGM site is ready, 3,079 local listings plugged in and ready to contact.
That's a lot. You'll be busy for a while, Dino.
Holy shnikes. Let's look at his site real quick. What do you think?
Sure.
Pull it up.
Pull it up. I like his logo there.
Yeah, he had a nice logo. And I'm going to pull another, let's see, another question. So welcome to Durham Shop Local, your online guide to the best businesses in Ajax, Brock, Clarington. Okay, so Dino didn't niche down, right? He's just...
Well, he's in a main area, but he's doing a lot of suburbs.
Right, he's in an area, but he's not in, he's in businesses. He's doing all businesses, right? He's doing amazing businesses.
Yep.
I mean, exactly like what we're doing with Hawaii Thrive, right? I like this paragraph here. He says, during these unprecedented times, please help support your local community in Durham region by shopping at locally owned businesses. When you buy from an independent locally owned business rather than nationally owned business, a greater portion of your money is used to make purchases from other local businesses. Looking good.
Man, that site looks great. Like, I mean, the logo's awesome. Like, this is a great example of the kind of look and feel that you're going for. Somebody lands on this site, right? They're going to feel like it's something to help the local community, which is exactly what we're after.
Yeah.
And, I like the social share things he's got on the side there.
It's got 200 shares already. Good job.
Yeah, no, man, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's looking good. You're probably gonna have a pretty easy time connecting with prospects. I mean, you know, like I usually check in and tell you guys. I mean, we're currently prospecting about 70 to 100 businesses every day. So, and we're using this exact method, and I mean, it works really, really well. A lot of sales that we've been making have been for websites, because people that don't have a website right now really know they need a website.
Yes.
So we've been noticing that trend with websites. Let me see here.
Here, looking at some of the comments. So let's see. Yeah, Gabriel, you're right. Similar to Why I Thrive. Patty said closing in on a 2K. Oh wow, Patty's just like crushing it, selling masks on Etsy. That's awesome. Robert says, how many areas can we create? Robert, you create as many areas as you want. Like inside the AGM training, we show you how to do that, how to set up different pages for specific areas. So when somebody clicks a link, they just see businesses from that area. So that's in there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Excellent stuff. So we have a popular question that I want to pull up.
Yeah, real quick. So Robert, AGM is a course that we have. It's called Agency Growth Machine, and it's that website that you just saw. It's a platform that Nick and I developed that creates those sites really easily and quickly. And we have a whole prospecting system built around it that we use to bring people into our agency and then sell them services. So you can see it on our website. If you go to offlinesharks.com, you can see Agency Growth Machine.
Probably the best prospecting method that you can have right now, especially with everything going on. Yeah. Just people are extremely receptive. We're building a real business and moving out of everything that we're in. I mean, you're going to be set up to be like the go-to agency in your area if you do it right. So look at this. Jacqueline just said she got I just finished the website for the roofer in Tampa. My first $500 commission. And Jacqueline, you're Jacqueline's in the UK. So yep. So she built this website for somebody, I mean, Tampa, so overseas.
Yeah, awesome work, Jacqueline. I like to see our longtime sharks having success.
Yeah.
Jacqueline's she's been working hard. She's been putting in, like what's really great is when you see people putting in the effort, right? Taking the actions, putting in the effort, keeping a positive attitude. They just keep moving forward, and then eventually good things happen for them. It's really great to see.
Robert asks, do you hire out for contract work for digital services? Yes,
we do.
Yes, we basically very rarely are we doing our actual fulfillment. unless it's, by way of a software, running some sort of software or some sort of, way that we can do it really easy. But when it comes to, some laborious digital service like building a website or, writing content or whatever, we are outsourcing. Yes.
Yeah. In fact, like one of the things we talk about all the time is that we waited too long to start outsourcing. We actually figured out a way to put everything together so that you can do it sooner rather than later. Like a lot of people think if you're going to outsource, you need to, you get clients to do all the work yourself until you build your agency up to a certain revenue, and then you can hire a team, right? They talk about putting people on payroll. We actually have a process and a system that doesn't follow that model. Like, you kind of turn it on its head. Like, we're able to find people to do the stuff we need, build relationships with them without outlaying any money up front, and then we connect those two when we get clients. So
look at this. Kristen got a $400 per month deal with a local pizza place.
That's awesome, Kristen.
What do you, Kristen? That's amazing. So what are you doing? How did you get that customer? Can you give us a little more information? I'm really curious about this because we were just talking about prospecting pizza places. So yeah, give us a little more info. Don't hold out on us. And while you do that, there's a question here from Tim Dixon, who says, quick question on our AGM influencer site. And I did answer this, but we wanted to bring it up. Is there anything specific to these types of sites I will need to be doing SEO-wise to get my site showing up when someone searches for local businesses? He also says, I've tried doing some local searches for different types of businesses. The sites that Nick has been building never seem to come up with the results, which is a bit odd. I may have missed this. These sites are a great resource. It would be a shame if we end up just using them for generating leads to our own agency business and they never get any traffic for the local businesses we've listed. So a couple of things. I commented about this in the group, and yeah, you're right. You probably don't see my sites come up for those types of terms that you're looking for. And it's because I haven't been focused on ranking my sites. I've been focused on bringing customers into my pipeline. And I did make mention about this in the comments below. And, one of the things that we kind of fleshed out when we were talking, Tim and I, in the comments is, I let them know, like, number one, there is SEO training in your members area, and it's really good SEO training. And if you are interested in ranking your site, you should follow that training. Number two, my focus in driving traffic has been in other ways, like through our outreach, through our email, through our social media. So I haven't been focused on doing search engine optimization for the site. Does that mean that it's not important? No, it's just that I think for me, what I've been focusing on is really more customers. And by just alerting other business owners about the site through our outreach, that's bringing in traffic to the site. This is a startup. You can look at it as a startup, right? I'm not telling these business owners that we're getting thousands of viewers every single day. In fact, they never ask. I never tell them that we're getting it. I don't ever tell them we're getting any viewers. But I do tell them that we're contacting business owners. I do tell them that we're posting about it on social media. And they're almost always happy to give us their information. In fact, what was awesome? So yesterday we were looking at this website to prospect, and we saw that they added the Hawaii Thrive badge to their website.
That's great.
So, in our welcome sequence that you guys all have, you see how we've created badges for our Hawaii Thrive website, and we give them to people, and people are putting them on their website, right? They're happy to do it. And so I talked about this a lot. Like, if you've come in through AGM on one of our webinars, we've talked about how, as marketers, we are always thinking about how much traffic goes to the website, how we rank the site. And in reality, for me and for Tom and for most people that are following what we're doing, we're trying to get customers right now. And all those things that you're talking about and worried about, those are really just a byproduct that happen in your pursuit to get more of those customers. And also, one other thing, and I don't mean to put Tim too far on blast here, but I did ask him if, he did go through the SEO training that's already in there, and he hadn't done that yet. So the reason I bring that up is I know that we get caught up in just trying to get too far ahead. You actually have the SEO training in there. Go through the training. We don't create the content and the training just for no reason, right? It's not arbitrary. It's in there for a reason. So if you're having a question and you see training, go through the training. That's where the answers to your questions are, So it's there for a reason.
Yeah, and the other part of that too is I don't think Tim hadn't even set his AGM site up yet. So it's like, Tim, we love you. We're not really trying to call out.
There are other people out there doing this too.
Yeah, this is a real common problem, right?
Yeah.
We see an opportunity, and then the first thing we do is start we go into this future mode of all the things that can go wrong down the road before we've actually taken any action. And what Nick and I have learned to do, and this goes back to kind of what we were talking about earlier, you got to pull that circle of focus in, and you need to take some action and just both, we know the process works, right? We know this works. We know if to bring clients into your agency, we know how business owners react to it. We're doing it every day, right? We're doing it every day. So you just gotta, put a little trust in the process, and then just start going through the process. And now, as you're going through the process, and you're adding businesses, you're bringing people in, then you can start saying hey, maybe I want to rate these, or what if I could do something else to get this stuff going, right? But let's get the process going. Let's not worry about that until we've got some traction and some things happening. So
Doran said, training, no way. Post a question to the group, then send a support ticket, then
yeah. Sometimes it seems like that's what people do.
Do not do this, okay? See this guy right here in the beanie? Do not listen to him. Do it the opposite. Go to Google. If you can't find it in Google, send in a support ticket.
Go to the training first.
Yeah.
Usually your answer is there, right?
It's there. It's there. Let's see. So
that was a great one.
Yeah, thanks, Doran. Cracked me up. Let's see. So we also have, what else do we have?
So I have our book of the week.
Okay.
Let's do our book of the week real quick, and then we've got our member of the week. That's another thing. So
yeah.
So our book of the week, so I told everybody I've been going the past few weeks. I have really been focused on sharpening up my mindset, bringing even more discipline. The D word. Oh, I used to dread discipline. Into my life and my work life, right? So I've been spending a lot of time, looking at what I'm doing, trying to get more focused, and looking for information on how to do that, how to get my mindset to the next level, right? To where, for me, I say this all the time, this whole journey of entrepreneurship has been a process of coming, right? When I started, I've come a long way, as Nick will probably tell you, from where I started to where we are today, just in my ability to, have a schedule, get stuff done, just, become the type of person that is that's doing things. And now I'm looking to kind of step that up a little more. And so I've been looking at a lot of different things to do that. And one of the books that I found, I thought was really great, is by this guy, Mark Divine. And it's called The Unbeatable Mind. And so for those of you that don't know who Mark Divine is, he's got a couple of other books out. I think this is one of his first ones. But he's a former Navy SEAL, and he's got a business now. He's an entrepreneur now. He runs a fitness company. And what's great about this book is this is really all of the mindset strategies that he's developed and that he's put in through all of that rigorous training that he did as a SEAL and moving on. So there's no workouts or anything like that in this book. It's all mental stuff, all mental models to handle problems, to handle situations, to get yourself to have your mindset right so you can get through stuff, and you can get through things that you might have thought were impossible for you to get through originally. And that's what really appeals to me about this, because one of the things these guys always talk about is that the getting through, like the SEAL training, getting through BUD/S is all mental, right? Now, there's something interesting, and this just kind of clicked with me last night.
Almost all mental.
Almost all mental. Well, this is what really clicked with me last night, and how it applies to digital marketing and what we do in our agency, is that there's the assumption that like everybody who goes into BUD/S training has passed a physical, they've passed a physical standard test, right? And that physical standard test, that PST, is the baseline of the shape you have to be in to complete the course. So if you pass that, if you have that physical ability, you can make it through BUD/S. The rest of it's going to be mental, but you have to have that basic physical thing. So one of the things when I think when we look at mindset and we look at things like that is we sometimes forget that. Like there is a baseline, there is a level of skill set, like skill and knowledge that you need to be at, where the mindset really starts to kick in and really like allows you to do amazing things that you didn't think you could do. Like if you don't know anything about digital marketing or building a website, like mindset isn't going to help you all of a sudden build a $50,000 website, right? like you can have all the mindset you want, you're going to struggle and probably not be able to do it. So like you do have to have these two things, I think, need to be developed at the same time, right? So, you know, you might read a book like this and not, and like, how do I apply that right now? Like you apply it to your situation and the things that you need to get done, right? Like if you're a person that doesn't have if you're starting at the very base and you don't have a morning routine, right? And you don't have a consistent work schedule and the baseline stuff that needs to be there for success, then those are the things that you apply the mindset to work on first, right? And you slowly add layers to that. And, you know, that's how it was for me. I didn't even have I didn't have the baseline. Like, I didn't like to get up early. I didn't like to have a schedule. Like I'm a recess kind of guy. I just want to do my own thing.
You're going to go out to recess, play kickball.
Yeah, exactly. And so I had to start there, right? Like, okay, well, what are the basic things that all the successful people I see have in place? Most of them get up early. Most of them have a morning routine. Most of them do some type of physical, you know, they keep in some kind of physical shape. Most of them do a lot of reading. Most of them have, you know, like they do timed work things every day, not just like my deal before was I'd work really hard, you know, for a while, but then I would just relax. And so it was quick bursts, right? Like I do quick bursts and then just relax, quick bursts. And so I've been trying to really work on having a more consistent flow and just instead of trying to do a bunch of stuff all at once, just do little things every day that move me towards the goals and the things that I say I want to achieve in life, right? And those are different for everybody. So
it's so much more rewarding that way, honestly. When you think about climbing up a mountain, let's take Mount Everest, for example. When you think about that, it sounds like a very difficult task, very daunting. But if you just break it down into 10 steps at a time, like you can get there, right? Obviously, that's a stupid example, but a stupid example of a mountain. But what I mean is, you know, you can do 10 steps every day. So breaking it down that way is so much more rewarding, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, and you do realize that you don't have to try to do everything all at once, right? Like one of the little mental things I did for myself last week was this thing, like I'm going to do 100 push-ups in a day. And I ended up doing them before noon, but it was like, that seemed like me to 100 push-ups. Like that seemed crazy to my brain. But by breaking it up and just doing 5 here, 10 there, 20 there, spread out, like it really, honestly, wasn't like that hard. It wasn't that difficult when I broke it up that way. So I did that as a mental exercise to show myself and my, you know, my brain, my mind that, hey, like, look, this works if we do this, and we can apply this strategy to other things.
Well, I mean, let's tie that into what we do here in businesses, right? When I was first setting out on the mission to rank my website for Maui SEO or Hawaii or any of those terms that are profitable to bring in customers, I knew that wasn't going to happen overnight. I knew that there was a process to making that happen. We all know that doing something like search engine optimization can take time. But what I convinced myself of is that I would do a little bit every single day. Same like Tom was talking about with becoming a Navy SEAL. He's going to become a Navy SEAL next month. And
no,
I was trying to rank my website. And it took a long time, right? But a little bit, piece by piece. So whatever it is that you're trying to work on, if you're trying to do ranking for your site, if you're learning a new skill, if you're, reading a book, right? You read a book a page at a time. So try not to get caught up, especially when you're, looking at other people, other businesses, other people that are having some level of success. I mean, whenever you compare yourself, you never win. You never win. You put yourself on the scale, you're either greater than or less than, and either way you lose. So focus on what you're doing and what you can do today to move the ball forward.
Yeah, there's always somebody out there that can do it better, faster, smarter, whatever.
Every time.
It's like those.
Every time.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not. Yeah, those. Always, every time. One of the great sayings that Mark Divine has that I really, really like I think about this all the time, especially when I'm not feeling motivated to do something during the day, is one of his sayings is that we do today what other people won't, so we can do tomorrow what other people can't. And I really like that saying because it reminds me like these fundamental things, these little baby steps that you're talking about, the things that like the basics, like if I do those every day, like by doing those every day, it will allow me to do things later that other people can't because they're not doing those things, right? They're not putting in that daily effort and work. So.
And you know what that reminds me of actually so much is when you're starting your business, when you're registering your trade name, when you're getting your bank account, right, for your trade name, when you're converting to an LLC, when you're getting your website, when you're doing your logo, when you're all those little things, like that shit takes time and it's frustrating and it can be like, I mean,
yeah,
I have some news for you. It doesn't matter what level you get at, you're still going to do that stuff. Like I was still setting up some forms with the IRS for a new corporate structure of something else I'm working on, right? Like back to square one, exactly where we were 4 years ago. Like it never ends. The trap door just opens up and you just have to get good at breaking stuff up and just keeping on, I guess.
Yeah, or you find yourself rebranding an entire product because you want to do something else with it, and like the name doesn't work with what you want to do, right? So you're like, we have to like start again. Like, okay, well, what do we back all through that process? But you do those little things, right, to get to your goal, and you just keep moving forward.
Somebody that's not logged in said that commit to one focused plan for at least 6 months. We're also vulnerable to shiny objects and latest experience opportunity. Absolutely. I mean, you're absolutely correct. Like, if you can do one thing and commit to it and give it a real shot and effort, I mean, that's what you should do.
Nick always says, circle of focus. Bring in the circle of focus, Tom. He's like, bring in the circle of focus.
Let's see. So,
but Nick is a great example of this because, like, what I've watched Nick do over the time that we've been working together, right, is like he sets a goal to do something, and then he works on it every day, right? Like, I was just thinking last night,
right.
Like a dog with a bone, like just like every day, like just every day, like just it doesn't matter if he only does a little or if he does a lot that day, but every day he keeps working on it and thinking about it and trying to make it better, right? And eventually, like, all this stuff starts happening. It almost can't not happen, right? Like, it just starts happening because he's focused on it and moving forward to it. And that's kind of like, I guess that's what we're talking about. And that level of effort that you put in each day, it can be different, like it's different for me than it is for Nick, and so.
And it sucks. It sucks. Honestly, it sucks. But I mean, it's better than the
to
alternative,
put
you
the
know?
effort. Yeah, but
It
like,
sucks.
yeah,
It's not easy.
it's definitely like you don't always feel good doing it,
No.
right? You feel good the next day.
Yeah.
Like this morning, like I got up to do my workout. I did not want to do it, man. I begrudgingly, it was like I did it I just begrudgingly did it. Now I felt great after I did it, but like I didn't feel good while I was doing it. I was just like, oh, why am I doing this? Like,
All right.
So-
Enough about us. Enough
okay,
about
yeah,
us.
yeah.
Let's talk
Enough
about the
about
member
us.
of the week for a second, all right? You guys think the member of the week is, because it's actually been a tough one. I know there have been a lot of people that have been posting their badges, right? Customers have been coming in, clients have been landed, deals have been sealed, invoices have been sent,
There's been a lot of stuff in the group.
cash has been added to the bank accounts. I mean,
Uh,
every week we highlight a member that has been taking action, and whether that's getting clients, moving their business further in some direction, helping out other people in the community, we like to highlight a member of the week. And this week it's no surprise somebody says Bill Marks. It's not Bill.
It's not
Bill is an awesome guy, I can tell you that. I mean, Bill is no stranger to being member of the week, but this, I got my screen pulled up. This member of the week,
It's not in the.
this week, let's see, who do you guys think it is? Dun, dun, dun. Bill Marks. You guys are funny. Your Rockstar tag.
Scott Dixon was a good guess.
Yeah, it was actually
The member of the week is
Scott Dixon.
no, it's Daniel.
Daniel Scott Dixon.
Daniel Scott Dixon. Yeah.
Congratulations, Daniel. I'm trying to pull up this.
Daniel Scott Willits.
Yeah. Oh, Daniel Scott Willits, not Dixon. Sorry. Damn. He had an X in his name.
I thought, who was it? Dixon? Daniel Scott Willits is our member of the week. Congratulations, Daniel.
Top engagement of the week and for sharing his wins with the community. So thank you.
He was also one of our shark shout-outs, and we got a prize coming for you, Daniel. So somebody from our team is going to reach out to you, Sushan or someone, to get your information, and we'll get that all set up for you. So congratulations, Daniel. Super excited. That's awesome. It's been really great to see all the stuff that you've been doing inside the group. One thing you mentioned, Bill Marks. So last night I was looking at, there was a comment in the group, and Bill, I'm sorry, I meant to respond to this last night, and I just realized that I forgot to. Somebody was asking about like a 4-part email sequence to reactivate people, and where it was at in one of our trainings. And we actually, I can't remember who it was that was asking that. Bill, I know Bill Marks left a comment on there, but we did a live training on a Saturday. It was the agency series thing where we talked about email, and that 4-part email sequence was in that training. I'll have to try to find a link though, but it was it was like something we did on Saturday. We talked about email marketing, all that stuff. We had that reactivation campaign. It was part of that training. So it's not in any one of our paid courses. It's in that training. I'll have to track it down for you. So maybe, Bill, you can shoot me a message on Facebook, remind me, and I'll see if I can find the link for you.
And by the way, Bill, you have been so helpful. So thank you so much. I mean, you as well. I mean, everybody, people already voted for you to be the member of the week for this week as well. But we do appreciate you. So, and this kind of circles back to, or I guess I would just like to circle back to, what we were talking about a little bit with the small wins eventually making up to a bigger win, with the businesses. And, the reason I want to bring it back to that is because, I'm sure all of you have noticed that Tom and I have recently opened up our private coaching program to applications, right? And we don't have that much time to run these private coaching classes. I know a lot of people, that's what they do. They just regularly do coaching. but we're not able to do that, right? We've only run one other class this year so far, right?
Yeah, I think we did one at the very beginning of the year.
Mm-hmm. At the very beginning of the year. So the reason I bring that up is part of our private coaching is to, we spent a lot of time, like we sat down obviously my house, and really put a solid strategy together on a private coaching program, like a curriculum. Like we talked to our members and we asked, what could we best do to help you? How could we best serve you? How could we best show you or teach you or give you whatever information that we have that would, fit best for our audience, for our sharks. And so we took that information and we created our private coaching program. And we've now run a couple of them over the course of the last.
Over the last 2 years, we've done, we did a couple. I think we did a couple last year, and this will be the second one this year.
And, we were talking about it, and I mean, I said this before, our most successful students go through our private coaching program. People that, are easily at 6 figures and have a legitimate business now as a result of going through the coaching program. And the reason for all of that is, we're able to work with you much more closely, but we also have the little digestible action steps that you need to take in your members area of the private coaching, and we walk you through that, right? We walk you through those little steps, take step by step to take it to the next level. And so, while the applications are open, I just kind of wanted to remind everybody that's here. I know we have, almost 100 people here. To if you haven't filled out an application yet, and that sounds like something that might interest you, like maybe you're at home right now and you're wondering what's the next step, or you're doing everything yourself right now and you need help. I mean, one of the main principles, the main things that we teach in our private coaching is how to build a team, but not only how to build a team, how to have your team build a team. So an example of that is I needed a new person to do website design in my agency. I needed a new person to do content because we're getting new customers, right? I brought people on to help me prospect and get sales, right? So I grew my team in that way. And now that we have more sales and more prospects coming in, I need more people to help with fulfillment. So I don't have the time to be able to hire those people to do those things. So I had somebody else in my team do those things, right? I was able to teach them how to do that for me. So as the business grows, we bring in more people. The team gets bigger. The team teaches the team. And you have this ecosystem of building a business to whatever size and level you really want. I was doing $200,000 a year with one web developer and one admin assistant and a copywriter. So I think I did my first $100,000 a year with one website developer. So, it's up to you how big you want to get, right? You don't have to get massive. You can have a significantly changed business and life by just bringing on a couple people to help you do the things that you're not good at. So, if you're on this call right now and that sounds like something that could interest you, like you wish you had some help, you want to learn how to outsource, you want to learn how to build a team, you want to know how Tom and I did it, go fill out the application. I'm going to add the banner to the page. Maybe do you have anything you want to add on the
yeah, I mean,
program?
I think it's, the coaching program really is about skills, accountability, and mentorship, right? And the skill that we're teaching you is how to not have to do it all by yourself, right? How to effectively bring people in to help you without outlaying a bunch of your own money to do that. Like, it's not about putting a bunch of people on the payroll when you don't have any clients. That's not how it works. We have a strategy and a process that's actually the opposite of that. And it really, it really can be as simple as, imagine this scenario. Imagine you're out talking to somebody and they say, hey, I need a website. And you're like, oh, I can do that for you. You sell them a website and then you don't have to do any of the fulfillment. Like, you already have someone that you know is good, that can do really good quality work, that you just hand it off. Like once you sign the deal, you hand it off to them and they do the work for you. And think about your confidence level too, because maybe you don't have any clients, but you know, when you have somebody that you're going to use to do the sites, like you can use their work as examples because they're the person that you're going to use, right? So, and finding those people is a skill, and there are bumps in the road, there are pitfalls that almost everyone goes through when you're trying to do things like this that create a lot of problems. And we've been through all those things, and we have ways around them. We've worked out the complete system. So, you know, that's really what we're, you know, that is the skill we're teaching in the program. And during the program, of course, you have our mentorship, and we're going to hold you accountable. Like from the get-go, you're going to be taking action steps and doing things and checking in with us, and you're going to be able to talk to us on the phone, and you have email access, all that stuff. So it really is a really great program. I mean, there's a lot of sharks in the group that have been through it. You can ask them about it. You know, Megan, Barbara,
Shan.
There's lots of people in there. Sean,
Jason.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people. So, you know, you can go to our website too and see some of what our former coaching students have had to say about the course as well. And yeah, it's really exciting. We're looking forward to it. It's going to be an awesome time, and it's a great time to learn the skill and put it into action, right? Because like Nick was saying, there is a lot of opportunity out there right now because of these businesses, you know, looking to get more online and get all their stuff in order. So
yeah, the time to build something really is right now. You know, there's been, for me in my case, I have been doing like a huge expansion in my business because, I mean, and you guys have seen it, right? Like I've been expanding my business while the stock market is low, right? While a lot of people are selling because they think they're going to lose money. Like I'm doubling down and investing in my business right now. And it sounds, you know, counterintuitive for a lot of people. Like you're going to buy, like, you know, you're going to go in while everything's tanking. And I'm investing in my business right now, time, money, all those things, because I know that I'm going to come out of this ahead, you know, and yes, there's some leap of faith that has happened, but I'm already seeing the results. So it's not too far-fetched. So what I'm saying for you is like, you know, this is the time to be building right now. If you've never had the time before to build something, you should take this time and do something real. And, you know, the private coaching program, because I know a lot of people, right? And I can relate to this, Tom can relate to this. When you work from home, put a 3. Let me know if this is you. I'm sure everybody's going to be able to relate to this. How easy is it to say that tomorrow you are going to prospect? Tomorrow you're going to contact 3 businesses. Tomorrow you're going to work on your website. Tomorrow you're going to work on ranking your website. Only to not, right? You just don't do it. It's very difficult to go back on a promise to somebody else. But when you don't make that promise to anybody, or you're not held accountable in any way, especially when working from home, because it's so easy when you're working from home, right? Yeah. There's no accountability, and you have to have discipline and willpower more than anything else to be able to make that happen. So as Tom mentioned, you know, part of our coaching program, look at all the 3s coming in. One of the most important pieces to it is really that accountability, right? We're not only going to tell you what to do, but like Tom mentioned, we're going to say, hey, are you doing this? And you have access to us on a much more closer level to be able to hold you accountable. So Nathan, Kristen, all the people that are not signed in, so I can't see your name, Gabriel, Robert, you know, you guys should all consider filling out that application so, you know, you can get some accountability built into your business. And once you get things going, I mean, it's easy to manage, right? But you need that help getting off the starting line. So
yeah, well, and this skill set too, like it's not just about having the work done for you. It's also about like knowing yourself and knowing what your strengths and weaknesses are, and being able to bring people onto your team to make up for whatever it is you're not good at, right? Like if I'm not good at consistent prospecting, I can just bring somebody on to do that for me, right? And then I don't have, like, I can take that variable out of the equation and have somebody who is doing it every day. And I don't have to rely on my, you know, my discipline and my will to do it. Like I can just have them do it. And you know, that's one of the things I did early on because that was an area I struggled with, right? So again, this skill set, this skill of being able to find people, like know where to go to find these people, know how to vet them, know how to identify good ones, know how to set up the processes so that working with them is super smooth, is really a critical skill in any kind of business. And you can apply it to anything. Like really being able to do that, like somebody contacts you and they want a service that you don't offer, like when you know how to find somebody to do stuff, like it doesn't matter what the service is, you can just go find somebody to do it. Like, oh yeah, I can work on that for you. You can find somebody. We've done that a lot as well. So yeah, it's a great program. I think you guys should fill out an application, check it out. And yeah, if you have any questions, let us know.
You know what's funny about, you know, the situation that we're in too, us being us, is that, you know, we've had these online businesses for a few years now before the shutdown, right? But as the world changed and progressed and all these things happened, people started hitting us up like, how are you guys still busy? How are you doing what you're doing? How have you built an online business, right? Like building a team overseas, building an infrastructure like we're talking about, you guys, like this is the type of business that people wish they had right now, right? And who knows, maybe this will be the type of business, the only type of business that really rises from the ashes of this. So, you know, two guys that are actually doing this, you know, for real, like we'd love to share our information with you. So
yeah, it's so funny. I just had a kid that I haven't talked to since high school. He reached out to me on Facebook and was like, I'm struggling. I need help. I need something now. Like I heard good things about what you're doing and help me, you know? So I know the needs out there and you know, the skills and things we talk about in the program can really help. So Shan.
Awesome testimonial from Shan, who is one of our coaching students who's on the call right now with us. Said he had a call with Tom for 45 minutes, worth way more than tuition just on that call. What about my call, Shan?
Yeah,
we've been on.
See how sensitive he is. See how sensitive.
Man, Shan, I thought we spent 45 minutes on the phone too. I mean, chopped liver. Appreciate the testimonial, Shan.
Yeah, thanks, Shan.
And he's doing an amazing thing. So
yeah, well,
yeah, really good stuff.
Cool. Well, man, guys, thanks for hanging out with us on this Friday jam session. It's been a lot of fun. A lot of great questions as always. Congratulations again to Daniel Scott Willits as member of the week. Super stoked for you. Somebody on the team will reach out to you. All the shout outs we had in the beginning, you know, Gerald, all you guys, really great work. Keep it up. Keep posting in the Facebook group, you know, what's going on. Share your successes. And if you're struggling, like, let's talk about that. Like, what is it that you're doing? How can we as a community help you get to where you want to go? You know, the Sharks group is, you know, I just saw a post the other day, somebody talking about how they think it's hands down the best group they're in. And that's really because of you guys, our members, all the people that interact and are there to help each other out. We really love seeing that. So thanks again for joining us. I got nothing else. Anything you want to add to that, Nick?
Yeah, just thanks for hanging out, everybody. Hope you guys will take a couple minutes to go fill out that application. And yeah, until next time.
Yeah. Stay safe, everybody. Practice aloha.